Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And today, I was thinking it's almost summer. Some of you might be getting these calls. Why don't you come up here and check out this property? We're going to give you a free 2-day, 3-night stay. And we'll give you even money for a trip. Or better yet, when you're already on vacation, you see these booths that says, hey, come here, we want you to go on a timeshare sales presentation. Or a presentation so you don't get spooked. And we'll give you something, whether it's a $100 gift certificate, whether it's a 2-night, 3-night cruise. It could be anything, but they need you at the sales venue. Timeshares are a scam. We're going to talk about it. Don't do it, don't buy it, but please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back. So we're talking about timeshares, those things that they portray as vacation rentals. Awesome vacation rentals for you, your family, and friends, and deeded to you so you can pass it along to your family or friends or anyone else. But what they don't tell you is maintenance fees keep going and going every year. They also raise your maintenance fees due to cost of living increases every year. So you might have, for instance, a $900 maintenance fee right now, but as soon as a roof blows off or needs repair or possibly any other damage to the property, they'll be quick to add special assessments. Special assessments, in case you don't know, is that you're going to pay your yearly $900 maintenance fee payment, for example, and then they'll say you owe $1,200 because all the owners have to chip in. Everybody allegedly have 52 weeks a year. If you have a deeded timeshare, allegedly there's 50 weeks a year. 2 weeks they usually do for cleanup, repairs, whatever. If you have points, well, let's just say points are backed by nothing. So you might as well just have a piece of paper that says you own, it could be 100,000 points. The next person has a piece of paper that says 100,000 points. Well, when you go in to make the reservation, both of you can make reservations for the same place. It's just that it might cost you 200, well not 200, but 20,000 points, 50,000 points, 60,000 points, and it's not really backed by anything, although when you go to presentations, they say it's backed by something. So you never know what these professional liars say when you go into a sales presentation. And I'll say again, when you go to one of these sales presentations, they're professionals. They make you feel good by thinking of vacations. They show you these properties on beaches, on islands, awesome looking 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom condominiums, apartments, homes, whatever they look like, they portray. What they don't tell you is how much it costs, and they also don't tell you that oftentimes you have to use an exchange company, such as RCI. There's other ones as well. So, Interval World or Interval International is their competitor. And then there's offshoots of this where you'll have GPX, vacations, you'll have trading places, you have a bunch of people, because when you start thinking about it, think as a deeded owner. Let's say there's 100 units at the property. Each unit has an owner. So each week has 100 owners. You start doing the math, 100 times 50 weeks, and now you know that's how many weeks are available in a pool in theory. All right? What's going on these days? The company, whether it's, I'll name them, Westgate, Blue Green, Diamond, Wyndham, Shell, all these companies, and there's others, they're actually using the inventory of the owners. I might get sued for this, but I doubt it. What they don't tell you is they act like owners are giving them units to rent. Well, let me ask you something. If you owe $1,000 in maintenance fees and they can only rent the property for, let's say, $200 a night, and they collect $1,400, and they're willing to shave off 50 or 60% and give you the remaining balance minus credit card fees or whatever, cleaning fees, whatever other fees they want to add on to it. So you're really going to let somebody rent your place and all they can do is not guarantee anything? That's right. They're not going to guarantee you're going to get $800 or $900 or $1,000 to pay your maintenance fees. You might be lucky enough to get $500 or $600. And if you're doing like how they did you at how they do at Ridge Tahoe and in their properties up in Lake Tahoe, they'll rent out your nights. You give them 7 nights, they could rent out 3 of the nights. They could rent out 4 of the nights. And then you get a check for $300, $400. Meanwhile, your maintenance fee is $1,200 a year. You still have to pay that maintenance fee, even after you give it to them. So when they start saying nothing's available, and then you look online and you see available dates online, when you go to simply Expedia, Booking.com, whatever, you call up and be like, hey, how come a person can rent it online? And then they give you these lame story about, well, an owner gave us their week, so we're renting it out. Or the other lame story and excuses, these are developer weeks. Right, because they didn't sell out the whole timeshare resort, so developers still have who knows how many weeks that they can use, and none of this is disclosed to the public. Nobody knows if they actually have weeks or not. So therefore, they're probably just keeping the weeks so they can rent the best weeks online, because some of the better weeks, you can get more rental income for it. So like a July 4th, a New Year's, a President's Weekend, things like that, or when there's special events like in New Orleans, Mardi Gras, or when you have Sundance Film Festival in Park City, Utah, or when there's a boat show in Miami. Yeah, not only are owners trying to get these weeks because, you want to be there during some sort of event, Ultra Music Festival, for instance. So you would want to rent those weeks. But what happens? Because you can charge more than the normal cost of a regular week, the resort themselves or the management will keep and hold units because they'll put them on the open market because they can get 3-4 times as much as what you pay for your yearly maintenance fee. So this is why you don't buy a timeshare. One of the reasons, many of the reasons. And then I might as well just give you a story. This is a blue-green property down in New Orleans. I own it, Club La Pension. There's only 4 or 5 townhome units there. I happen to own 3 or 4 weeks. So when I get there, they want to have a talk with me. What you call a presentation, an owner update, because I already own there, so they call it an owner update. So I go to the owner update, and they want me to switch to points. Well, see, when you switch to points, you don't own a deeded week. You're just in a pool with other points owners. So now when I'm trying to look up certain dates using points, nothing's available. So the people in the presentation start their usual spiel, and they say, well, see, here, you could use your points to rent here. Look, so they show me their screen. They don't tell you that they have the master screen, meaning it just basically shows almost all inventory available. So I said, that's cute. Let me pull up my computer, or my phone. In this case, I had my phone with me. And I said, you know what's funny? I actually own points with Blue Green. Let's go look up what I can reserve during Mardi Gras. And mind you, I'm at Mardi Gras, staying at the property already, and it's next year's Mardi Gras that we're checking out. And I said, that's kind of funny. Let's go look it up. So I pull it up on my screen. I said, hey, all black or all blocked out. It's not available. In fact, I said, you know what's even funnier? I said, why don't we just find out what's actually available for the rest of the year? And so I show them, and April's nothing available, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, nothing available for like 7-8 months in a row. 9 months in a row, nothing available. But yet they're sitting here trying to tell me trade my deeded weeks in and get on their point system because it's a lot better. Well, not only did they want my unit so bad, they just said, we won't even charge you to change over to points. We want those units so we can have them. And I know why, because they're deeded. They're set weeks. So At the end of the presentation, after I told the guy pretty much go F yourself, he came back with, you know what, we're going to get this place anyhow of yours, because when a water heater breaks in the basement or a roof messes up because of weather, it could be a hurricane or a tornado or whatever happens around here, we're just going to send out a special assessment. And you know, it could be $2,000, $2,300, and we'll get your week sooner or later, because most people aren't going to pay the special assessment plus their maintenance fees. And they are right. This is what you people have to understand. They got tricks. So let's stop with the tricks and do not go to any presentations. Do not accept a $100 gift card. Do not accept, we're going to put you on a tour for something. Do not do anything. They are professionals. They will talk you into something. If you think $25,000 for 1 week of use, and then you're going to pay $1,000 a year for the rest of your life, and you can't get out of it unless somebody else wants to buy it, but nobody else is going to be stupid enough to spend $20,000 on the open market for a timeshare where you only have 1 week of usage, or 15,000, or it doesn't matter what thousands you're talking about. Nobody's going to do it, but they'll talk you into it because they'll get into your ego. You can afford it. Don't you want your family to be better? Don't you want to be able to take family, friends, and everybody and show that you have this vacation rental? And then they'll switch it into what? You can't afford it. Then they'll switch it into what? You don't want to provide for your family. They have all the tricks ready for you. They mess with your emotions, and most people who say they will never sign, they actually sign. And then when they get home, some states allow for a 3-day right of rescission. Some don't. Some allow 7 days right of rescission. And that right of rescission date, if you don't get paperwork or you don't get down there and actually get this reversed, you're on the hook for whatever it is. Financing and all is going to go through, and then it'll be on your credit report. So if you want to get into the timeshare game, you have to think how they think. You only buy a timeshare if you're going to have a event week, a holiday week. That means if you can't pay your maintenance fees, you can rent it out. At least rent 3 or 4 nights of it out and get your maintenance fee money back. Won't be a problem. But if you just pick a random week in the middle of August and there's no event or anything, you will not be able to rent that week for your maintenance fees, because you can go to any Expedia, Priceline. Other owners will be trying to rent the week out on Craigslist, using other vehicles, Tug, things like that, Red Week. So you see my screen already. This is all for everybody who is not heeding my warning, because timeshares are not real estate. Okay, regardless of what these sales presentation people tell you, they lie. It is not real estate that goes up in value. This is just 1 week or some points. Points are not real estate either. So none of that is real estate. So when you go on these things, don't let them tell you this is real estate, it goes up in value, because if anybody on here at Stop Struggling Now goes on a presentation and they say they go up in value, you give them the phone. Call me immediately, because I got a timeshare to sell them for half the price they're trying to sell it to you. In fact, I'll take 1/4 of the price they're trying to sell to you. Nah, let's just make it 10% of the price. All right? I have lots of timeshares, but I use them for business. So therefore, like I said, anybody that decides to go on these presentations because they want to go there and they think, oh, 90 minutes isn't no big deal while you're on vacation, well, that 90 minutes turns into 2 hours, turns into 2.5, turns into 4 hours, because you're sitting there going, no, 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 and they're not going to release you either. So keep in mind, like I said, anybody goes on one of these things and they start talking about, well, it's worth 25 grand and it goes up in value, call me, I'll sell them mine. Like I said, for 10% of what they're trying to sell it to you for. And I guarantee you they're going to say no, since it's such a good deal. All right, let's get down to business. So you don't want to heed my warning on this? Fine. Let's go the other way. Let me help you out. Or if you want to turn it into a business, I'll help you out as well with this, because either way, this works for you. If you want to buy timeshares, you see on my screen timesharenation.com. All right? Free timeshares. That's right. Look at here. Free 2019 use. I'll even click on it for you so you can get an idea. No closing costs, no transfer fees, no nothing. All you do is send them a message and say, hey, I want to take this week. Okay, look at here. Steamboat Springs, Schooner Beach, Pacific Fantasy in Hawaii, Outer Banks, Onokai. Yeah, these are all, well, look, St. Lucia. Look at this, on the water, Silver Lake, Orange Tree in Scottsdale, Vacation, Tahoe Seasons in Lake Tahoe, Club Regina in Cabo. Right, free week is included, by the way, people. This is how bad these people want to get rid of it. Okay, Atlantic City, Island Seas, Bahamas, everywhere you want to go. Olympic Village Inn in Squaw Valley. What can I say? Park City, Utah, Sweetwater Lift Lodge. Okay, these are the ones for 2019, so this is pretty easy for you. You just go on here and more info, contact them and say, hey, I want this. But again, if you're going to get into this game, you got to keep in mind that you have maintenance fees every year, and those maintenance fees are not steady. So if you're paying $1,000 this year, it'll be $1,050 next year or more. If you're paying $1,200 this year, it's going to be $1,250, $60, $1,300 or more. They go up in value, or not value, they go up, the maintenance fees, because there's expenses. And you got to keep in mind, just like an HOA, some owners aren't paying for their timeshare. In fact, some owners are giving up and saying, here, take it back. I don't want to pay maintenance fees no more because I can never find usage. Because not everybody has deeded weeks. Some people have floating weeks, and that makes things even crazier. So now, my example from the beginning, you have 100 units in an apartment in the timeshare complex. You have 50 weeks a year, 5,000 owners. What do you got going on? 5,000 owners all trying to get 12 or 13 or 14 of the busiest weeks, the ones where all the children are out during spring break, or when college is out during spring break or winter break or summer break. So everybody's trying to be there pretty much at the same time, and there's only 100 units. So you can start figuring out what's going to happen. Those who didn't make reservations far enough in advance, you're out of luck. Simple. You're out of luck. And then they're going to say, oh, you can use an exchange company like RCI, but what they don't tell you is they charge you $200 and some odd for a membership per year. Then on top of that, when you want to exchange to another resort in the RCI system or interval system, you're going to have to pay another $200. And don't even talk about if you want to add a friend to it because you can't make it and you're just trying to either help a friend out or help friends, family, co-workers, whatever out. And then they want to charge you a $60 or $70 guest certificate fee. Probably went up this year too. But all I'm saying is they don't mention none of this. They just show you these books that you can go vacation at over 5,000, 10,000 other places around the world, but they don't tell you it's going to cost you another $500 on top of your yearly maintenance fees to make that happen. They sit there nice and quiet, show you all this literature, all this visual that makes it look like this is the best thing on the planet. And then you're not thinking to yourself, how many times do I go on vacation per year? Wait a minute. Why am I spending $15,000? Because my last vacation only cost me like $800, $900, $1,000. If I'm going to go with that parameter, then I could do 15 years of this and not have to be committed and still stay at the same place, because guess what, people? All timeshares are actually hotels, because like I said, the owners, the management of the property, the developers rent out the weeks. They take your weeks, they steal your weeks, they use your weeks. So all these properties that you see right here, you can go on Expedia and just rent directly. Okay, it's that simple. Now, let's get on with some, if you want to acquire some more. Now, over here, these are free timeshares, but they don't include the 2019 week. And I would suggest if you're going to buy a timeshare, get a 2019 week included. All right? Pretty simple. Now, there's other places that you can acquire timeshares. Because so many people are trying to get out of their timeshares, you can find not only here, which here we go, Daytona Beach, Oceanside 99, that wasn't on the other list. Club de Soleil in Las Vegas, Diamond Resorts, that would be a hell no, don't ever buy from Diamond Resorts. Westgate Painted, I'll give you another story. This is going to be a long video. Westgate Painted Mountain, Westgate, you go to a presentation, you buy from them, that's fine. You're going to spend $12, $15, $6,000, whatever the case may be. I can buy this Westgate Painted Mountain Golf Resort. Well, with Westgate, you can exchange to other Westgate properties. So back in the day, I buy at Westgate Painted Mountain and I want to stay at Westgate Orlando. All right? So they would exchange. I'd have a 2-bedroom at Westgate Painted Mountain. I could exchange for a 2-bedroom at Westgate Orlando. They would charge me $150 to do that. No biggie. But guess what happened? Because so many people wanted to give their timeshares away, they came up with a new plan. All those people who pick up a timeshare such as this on Timeshare Nation, their account is now coded as a resale account. The people who buy at the resort, their account is coded as an owner account. So now, when I want to go change from Westgate Painted Mountain to Westgate Orlando, it's no longer $150 because my account is coded as a resale account. They want to charge $450 for the exchange. Never mind, your maintenance fees are already like $950. So now, the advantage that you used to have for buying resale, they changed it into an advantage for the company. So not all owners are not equal, but yet an owner that owns at Westgate Painted Mountain who bought through the developer who pays $950 a month or $550 a year in maintenance fees, and the resale account person that also pays $950 a year in maintenance fees, they are totally different class of people. Why? Because more people are trying to get rid of their timeshares, and these guys are trying to extract as much money they can from existing timeshare owners. And then at the same time, like I said, you can go online and look up Westgate Painted Mountain, and you can see that you can just rent directly from them. And the same with Westgate Orlando, any of their properties. Westgate Towers, Westgate Lakes. They have many in Orlando. And they have others, not just in Arizona. So therefore, they have some in Tennessee. They have one in Tennessee. You know, they're in a few places. But this is just an example, and other companies have followed suit. So like, for instance, Diamond Resort, they have the same program. If you own as an owner, you get something, and if you got a resale account because somebody's giving away, then they deem your account as you can't own the whole collection. And what they have done is, you used to be able to transfer ownership for virtually $50. They raised it up to $500 or $1,000 because people were getting rid of their ownership. And now when people get rid of their ownership and deed it to someone else, these companies started changing the price. So then it became a deterrent. Who's going to pay this $500? Who's going to pay this $1,000? Who's going to pay this $1,500? That's right, some places charge $1,500 to change over a name after it's deeded into somebody else's name. It's crazy. So that just gives you an idea of what you're dealing with here and why this industry is garbage. As a person, as an individual, you should not buy a timeshare. If you're trying to do this as a business, you probably shouldn't even think about doing it as a timeshare either. But if you are, like I said, you just get the holiday weeks. Now anyhow, let's get on to something else. Where else can I find weeks? Let's go over here to eBay. eBay, see over here, 601 people. 601 are for sale. You see these prices, okay? Nobody's gonna buy these. This is $3,000, $4,000. Worldmark, they have a right, refuse to buy. Okay, so if somebody submits, let's say this person buys this, and so when you, a right of first refusal is what they call it, $3,495. So therefore, you have to send in your paperwork into Worldmark by Wyndham, and if they think the price is too low, they'll keep it. So in other words, if a person says, I don't want this no more, and they say, give me $100, and another person agrees to buy it from them, and you send the paperwork in, they steal it. They're gonna take it. They're gonna say, we have right of first refusal, we'll pay you the $100 and we're keeping it. You know why? Because when you come in for a presentation, they're gonna try to charge you 20 grand, 15 grand. That way, it's basically inside trading. It's not an open market situation. It's like the stock market. So they take away all the low priced offerings So therefore, it's no longer on the table for anybody. So the only way you can own with WorldMark is you have to pay their price or whatever price they want you to pay. So in this case, this guy probably knows that $34.95 for 10,000 credits, they probably won't steal. But I guarantee you, if it's 800 bucks, 200 bucks, 50 cents, a dollar, they're stealing it when it comes in, because they're going to say right of first refusal, we're going to take it. So these are all the little tricks that happens. So that's why these prices here are certain prices, because they know they're not going to be taken. This right here is crazy. Somebody bought a timeshare. This is Westgate Lakes, 4-bedroom. They want $35,000. All you have to do is Google Westgate Lakes, and I'll be willing to bet you there's probably another one on here for sale for 50 bucks or less. Now see, look at here, Manhattan Club, $100. They're giving a gift certificate. Don't mess with Manhattan Club. They charge $2,000, $3,000 per year. Oh, this is okay. This will probably be $4,000 a year in maintenance fees. So therefore, do not take it. You're not going to pay $4,000 for a week. Okay, 203K points, 50 bucks. Somebody's bidding on that. But look, these are $1. Again, this has to get high enough where they won't steal it. Sheraton Vistana, yeah, they won't steal it. Sheraton doesn't have a right of first refusal. And here you go. Somebody's going to pick up this for either $125 if you just want to buy it now. Royal Dunes, and this is in Hilton Head. Look at this, $1.30. Somebody's trying to get rid of it. So, and here's Blue Green. Don't buy Blue Green. Like I said, they do the same thing. They try to get you into points. But you can see there's places for $1 that you'll be able to pick up for $3, $4, $1.30, whatever. But here's a perfect example, week 34. That should be in August sometime. In fact, that's the week before Labor Day. Orlando, people go back to school in the middle of August, so the odds of you being able to rent this week is slim to none. Okay, and then when people rent for Labor Day, they usually don't stay for the full week. They only want to stay for 3 or 4 nights. So once again, you're caught up into certain things. But anyhow, okay, I see we got updates from YouTube. Guess all my guys that I listen to. But anyhow, what we're going to be doing here is we'll go over to Timeshare Users Group, which is otherwise known as TUG, and you go there, and okay, I don't know why this is here, but okay, we'll leave this here. We go over to here, and this is where you can find other information. But here's this, timeshare rentals offered is because other people have weeks, and look at here, Maine 616, the guy says 360. June 15th in Kona through the 22nd, he wasn't able to rent his week out. Now they're sitting here, and these are all $100 a night. So for $700, you'll get a June 15th through the 22nd 2-bedroom. Look what I tell you, because they have a cap on these. Everybody who lists their property in here on TUG can only list it for $100 per night or less. So if somebody was going over here, $700 to be in Kona for a week. Meanwhile, the maintenance fees for that is like $1,200 a year. So people are losing money, but what the heck, they're not going, and now they're just trying to find somebody. Here you go, Hawaii. Yeah, that's in Hawaii. Hilton Head, Bonnet Creek, look at this. All these, $650 for 7 nights. See, all these are $100. Woodland Palm Air is in like Fort Lauderdale area. Marriott Canyons, that's in Palm Springs. Bonnet Creek, that's in Orlando. Powell Place, San Francisco. So you can see all over the place. Hilton, Marco Island, all over the place. Wyndham, Kauai. This just gives you an example. Also, you go to tug2.net, and you can get rentals there, and that's tug2.net, and you can find sales. But again, people, those locations are actually trying to do it because they bought them for 15 grand. They're trying to say, give me 5 grand. Why? You can go to eBay, you can go to Craigslist, you can go to anywhere else and get timeshares. All right? And here's Red Week. This is where you can also rent or sell. So here's a new resale. Somebody wants $1,500. Like I said, you can go to eBay and buy it. Somebody's going to give this away. Atlantic City isn't that great of a place. and this property, people don't want it. It's crazy. Here goes another one. These are just on their screen. But here, so you can do rentals and you can find resales. And again, they're going to be at pennies on the dollar from when you go to one of these timeshare presentations. So this is a long one. I didn't mean to be so long, but this timeshare thing, it really annoys me. And like I said, I do it as a business, which I've never discussed before, because there's places like Airbnb, Flipkey, even VRBO, and there's a few others where you can rent out your week using those methods. They take a little kickback or not. Well, they take a kickback, and you can get the most for your money. So anyhow, thank you for listening, and please like, subscribe, and click the bell below for the latest updates. And keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out.